Good evening, my name is Martina Woods, and I will be teaching a lesson using the Georgia Performance Standard M6, M2C, and we will be finding the area of triangles and rectangles after we decompose irregular shapes. So our main focus is on irregular shapes. But let's go back into what you already know. How do you find the area of a rectangle? Okay, yes. That'll be area of a rectangle is the base times the height. So how would you calculate the area of a triangle? That'll be 1/2. Right, 1/2 the base times the height. 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay. So now that we've recapped on that and you understand and remember how to get the area of a triangle and a rectangle, we're going to start with our shapes. And we have irregular shapes, as you can see. I'm going to separate you into groups, and at your table you have a copy of all 3 shapes. And I want you to discuss whether the area of the shapes will change once you decompose it down to smaller shapes. So just have that little discussion and see if it'll change. Do you think, off the top of your head, do you think it would change the area of the shape? And the answer is no. The area stays the same because once you find the shape of all the smaller shapes that you decompose the larger shape into, you will have to add that all together, and that will give you the area of the irregular shape. Okay, so we are going to start with our first shape. And we're going to just look at it, and by looking at it, I can already tell that I can change this into rectangles within itself. So I'll start with this, and I'll just name this my rectangle 1. And I'm looking right here, and I know that I can break this down into rectangle 2. And it's still an irregular shape right here. So I will break this down into rectangle 3. And then we have 4 left. So in order to find the shapes of a rectangle, we will have to do the base times the height. I put length times width. So let's start with our shape. Our rectangle number 1. Rectangle number 1, we'll actually do 9 times 18, which is 162. Because that will be the base times the height, which is 18 times 9, equaling 162. So our first rectangle is 162 feet square. And if we go to right here, well, we don't know what this side of this side right here is part of this rectangle. So we don't know what this line of the feet of it. So you've already been given your measurements, and you know from here to here is 13. So, and from here to here is 2. So if you take that 2 from the 13, you will have 11 feet. So, therefore, you will multiply 11 times 7, which will give you 77 feet square. Okay, moving along, we go into this rectangle right here. On this rectangle right here, one moment. On this rectangle right here, we have our length, we have the height of it, but we don't have our base. So we know that all the way across is 24. And we have down here, we have 5, 7, and 9. So with your 5, 7, and 9, that is 21. So 21 from your 24 will leave you 3. So this is our feet right here. We have 3 feet right here. So 3 times 11 is 33 feet. Over here you have 13 times 5, which will give you 65 feet. Now you have to add all of your areas up together in order to get your total number. So that'll be 162 feet plus 77 feet plus 33 feet plus 65 feet, which will give you a total of your area equals 337 feet square. You cannot forget your feet square to square it off. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's go to our shape right here. Oh, this one looks a little more difficult, huh? So I see slants, so that me assuming that I'm going to have some triangles in this irregular shape. So with this, I think I'm going to separate it in half. Let's go ahead and divide it in half. This top part and the bottom part. So I'll start with this bottom part because it seems a little more simpler. So I can just look at the figure and tell that I can get a rectangle out of this shape right here. So let me go ahead and separate that. And I can do the same thing for this side right here. So I still have triangles. But now that I have separated this, and this is just a line here, I can possibly get me a triangle if I go straight down right here, straight down right here, and I have 2 triangles and 1 large rectangle. Okay, so we know that we're start. Let's get our sizes and stuff in here, and for the sake of video, we're gonna automatically. We will say that this over here is 7 feet, which will make this part over here 7 feet.